Hello, everyone, and welcome to In the Know 360 show hosted by me, Annette, the warm-hearted warrior diva. This show gives you insights on the journeys of high-achieving business owners and music artists who share with the audience the importance of building a strong community of like-minded individuals on the road to greater success. And today, I'm blessed to have Mr. J. Anthony. Woo
Hey, what's up?
woo! Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, sir. Oh my gosh, from Vogue to gosh, I'm just lost for words. So I'm going to give you the stage and hand the mic over to you. Like literally, here's the mic. You know, um, to introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Jay Anthony. I'm an actor, award-winning actor, I should say now. Definitely excited to be on this podcast and just make connection with Miss Annette here. Any questions? Shoot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can start off with a little bit about your background, where you're from, where
Yeah.
you are now, because I know you're everywhere
hmm
these
So
days.
yes, I'm originally from Rosedale, California, in the Central Valley. So a little bit far away from Hollywood. So anyone that is away from Hollywood, you could still make it happen. I was definitely different growing up. I always did like Bow Wow concerts in my room, and like I was like my imagination was just there, and I saw the crowd and everything. And I did some improv in high school. My senior year, I played sports, so I was kind of just I played football to be exact, and I was kind of in that mind frame, and I really kind of got out my comfort box in my senior year. So I did some schooling with that, and after I graduated high school, I kind of flirted with the idea, with TikToks, Vines, things in that nature. Never really in a business perspective, more just it was just something that I like to do,
Uh-huh.
and I was very creative in that aspect, and I just enjoyed the process of making films and acting in the films that I've made. So, or skits and whatnot. So definitely being able to hone in on the industry as a business perspective, it definitely has kind of expanded my trajectory.
Okay. He's being modest, everybody. Look, I did my research. I saw this one short film. I don't know if it's a short film, but it was like more of like an animation. And
hmm
I was like, wow, that is so cool with the flower.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, it's about life. Can you tell
Mhm.
us a little bit about that?
It's the journey. It's the process. Um, there's a lot of self talk, self programming that I've been really into. That I really got into this year of what am I programming into myself based off of my circumstances of where I'm at now. That doesn't like make the fact that what's going to happen in the future, right? So that was just visually, I guess, perspective wise, where it was just something where it's like, okay, the flower,
Uh-oh.
the blood. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. So I can't hear you, but I'm gonna finish this tidbit and like hop off. I'm sorry that
Oh,
yeah. But basically with that, it was more of like the process of getting to a better habitat. So it was hot outside, so the cement was hot. Of course, the flower's not
mhm.
able to make that jump. Oh, I think I can hear you now. Can
Oh,
you say something?
yay.
Yeah!
Yay.
Yeah, see, I mean, we just roll with it. That was that improv I was talking about earlier.
Right?
So, the process of getting to a better circumstance, right? So the flower eventually in the physical world, it looked like it died, but it
Mm.
really expanded itself to pretty much multiply in that flower patch. So it's just things like that. I'm really, I guess, visual, and now it's all about making this into a film. So my latest film, Kaizen, that was something that I
Yes.
took very much pride in because not only did I have the vision, every shot was scripted. Every scene, as far as like the voiceover and the scenes that are in there, that was written by me. So
Mhm.
just to know that professionally, like I took that stance is that with that project is just more of like a pride thing. Like, wow, I really accomplished that. So I think Kaizen, it was kind of the flower skit was more of just leading up to the Kaizen, like, okay,
Mm.
this is what's coming. So now that I was able to see how that was able to go, I had a production team come out and they were able to help. Shout out to Toad Cami. He helped me with that, and he's a very talented as far as director in film. So it's all about making sure I'm at that process. Like, I'm kind of like the homie within my pack of friends that is like, hey, we can really do this. We can really shoot a feature film right now. Like, why wait? Why wait until we have investors and the Kickstarter goes up? Let's start now. Let's start casting now. But not only let's start casting now,
Mhm.
let's make sure we follow through. Like,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
so I've really been, sorry if I'm going on a tangent, but I've really been, that's been in my prayers, is being able to find people that have this same energy. Shout out to my guy Mark Villalobos. He was a director at for the short film I did in San Diego.
Mm.
Now that was an award-winning film, and when
Wow.
it comes to production, he had every reason to scrap the production. He had every reason to scrap it. I'm not going to put that on
Oh.
blast, but we got
No.
done. He paid me, and it was like, okay. We looked at it,
Mm.
and it was just like, man, like the biggest key of the moment was
Mhm.
not caught, and it was just like,
Oh.
man, you're free to go now. So, and his turnaround was amazing. He shot me the stills. He shot me the
Mhm.
trailer within 24 hours, and that's a quality where it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah. I was like, man, we could really, like, if we really put everything together, we can make something happen. So I know, as far as having a team, how
Uh-huh.
important that is, and my
Mm.
team is the reason why I did my first movie. My team is the reason why I'm able to travel to these different events and
Mm.
pretty much increase my brand. So shout out to Dominic at King's PR, man. It's
Yes.
I'm
He's
really blessed.
yeah, he's actually on. Thank you so much, everyone.
No.
That's that we have King's PR. Look, he took the words out of my mouth. So,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, Mixture. He's another artist I'm about to interview as well. He's on here. Like, there's a bunch of people.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I did see the short film or a short clip on the Instagram, and I definitely will pull it up. But I know I'm jumping all over the
Okay.
place,
That's okay.
you know, as well. But let's take it back to the first or second question here.
Okay.
So, what first sparked your passion for acting and storytelling? You briefly pointed out on it, like after high school, but what was like, yeah, I want to do this? What drove that?
I think COVID.
Oh,
I had so much time during COVID.
okay.
COVID was like, looking back in hindsight, COVID was the best time for an actor to,
Mm,
like, break through. It was the best time because everybody had time.
right.
Everything was virtual. So from my
Yeah.
understanding before, you'd have to drive to LA or drive to the set
Mm,
to, do your auditions.
right.
But with COVID, it was the auditions were like this virtually, and that's the practice that they still hold true now. So that
Mm,
was a huge change in the game. So
yeah.
if my future self can talk to COVID J, I'll be like, hell, bro, get on some agency sites and do it,
Right.
because I was more of in a wishful thinking mindset. Like, okay, I'm gonna
Mm,
post a lot of videos, and then somebody's gonna see me, and they're
okay.
gonna want me to be on their show. That was just my blueprint. That was my business plan. Uh,
Okay.
so I was very consistent, like maybe even 2 reels a day, just something that was just creative,
Wow.
and I was just hitting it, like that influencer mindset. Like,
Uh
that was
huh.
me, and no shout out to influencers. It's just not my calling. Like, I know
Right.
you're able to be successful doing that, but as far as looking at it now, it's just like, man, like, there's a lot of people posting videos. There's a lot of people making sounds. Like, what's
Mhm.
separating
Mm,
you from everyone else? So I would get into that, and then it was just like life kind of hit. There was
uh-huh.
more reasons to not be consistent than to
Mm,
do consistent, and I mean, I was just a hamster in the whirlwind. So I'm glad I had that recollection of thinking. So a couple months went by, and there was acting event, and
Oh,
it was called the Rabobank Arena, or it's Dignity Health Arena now.
okay.
And it was like basically like a casting agency type deal where it's like you come in,
Uh-huh.
they have the kids, the parents, and some adults. They come in, they read from a script, and I was like, hey, this could be my shot. I had that itch again, so I came in, and they said, okay, memorize this Campbell chicken noodle soup commercial. So they gave me the script, and I went hard on those lines. I lost the footage, and I wish I can find them now.
Oh,
But
wow.
I'm literally selling the soup, like this hearty
Right.
beefy soup, something like that, and it had all the
Uh-huh.
flair to it. Mind you,
Okay.
this was kind of after the COVID. So I get there, it was older woman and her daughter. So they had a whole bunch of adults. I went through the whole process. The whole time they're selling their ad agencies during the whole thing. So I'm kind of
Uh-huh.
on game, like, okay, they're probably going to ask for money after this. I did it anyway. I did the audition. She was like, hey, I love you. I can make you into a star. I can do it. I can make you into a star the way you read these lines, but I'm going to need $2,500. And they lost me at 2,500. I'm like, 25. All right, man. Like, I know I can be a star. So, I went home. I'm like, all right, think about it. I didn't tell them no. And then the daughter calls me, okay, look, you're really good, $1,200. And I'm like, no, right? So in my mind, I'm like, this is just the industry. This is like, you have
Yeah,
to have
right.
the bread to make it happen. And it's unfortunate, but at the same time, for these actors that are coming up, sometimes it takes for you to go through that,
Mhm.
because now, after maturing out and actually knowing the process of the blueprint, shout out to
Right.
Mr. V, was like, hey, this is the business. You have to put your money in you. You have to put your money in the
Yeah.
brand. You can't put your money as far as into other people to make
Mhm.
it happen, because you're going to believe in you regardless. Even if
Yes.
you went and met someone at the golf course and they're able to invest millions of dollars into you, if
Yeah.
you don't believe in yourself, what's the
Yeah.
point? So getting that perspective, I'm like, okay, it makes
Yeah.
sense. But then, a lot of people want to play the what if game. Like, what if I would have done it? I think for me, I matured as a man so much to where it's like, I'm thankful that I wasn't an All American and I wasn't on Power, because 4 years later, I'd probably be on TMZ, like making a fool out of my.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
Oh boy.
it
Yeah,
kind of
TMC.
it's
That's
like, oops,
Oh,
can
you're
you
good.
can you see me? There it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the alarms that are going off on my. Can you say something? Sorry.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Mic
Jeez.
check.
Let's see.
Let
It's
me
probably
see.
gonna probably
I'm
end
about to
shortly.
drop some
Sorry
about to
about
drop.
that.
It's
Let's
fine.
see. But yeah, so just to digress on that. Let me see.
Okay.
Can you say something
Okay.
again?
Mic check. One,
Mic
two.
check. Okay. Let me see. Let me on mic off.
You good? Can you hear me?
Hmm,
I
let's
can
see.
see you and I can hear you.
I'm gonna hop back on.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry.
Wow. Okay, everybody listening, taking notes. Oh my gosh. Gotta love technology. I'm about to start singing karaoke. Love. Um, Happy Easter for those that celebrate Easter. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day. Shout out to King's PR. He's on here. Miss Chur, thank you. Oh, Master Check, Master Check, Master Yo Check, my check. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go.
I turned that alarm off. I'm sorry.
You see, I had like 100 alarms just because I'm gonna blame my kids. I
Right.
got. Don't forget to pick up
Yeah,
your,
exactly.
your kid from daycare
I
from
was like, oh,
the
my
after.
vitamin D. Okay, got it. Like,
Yeah, no, for real. Look, I do have. Now that we're doing vitamins, don't forget to take your probiotics.
yeah.
I have it on my alarm. Don't forget to go to the gym. I
Right.
mean, this is, look, my mind is like all over the place. Sometimes I need my checklist, like check, check, check
Yep,
to
exactly.
actually, and then you kind of feel accomplished, right?
Hmm.
So, like, you didn't know that he's an artist too. He can sing. No, let me.
Yeah, right.
I'm putting you in the spot. Y'all didn't know that we're about to flow. See what I
Right.
did? See what I did there? Marcel's laughing. Oh my God. Monsieur said, all right, let's go. Okay. So back to the TMZ thing. Yeah. Thankfully, you know, you missed
Yeah,
that
you
whole.
weigh out the options. Like, oh, Jay Anthony. You're like, man, I'll probably, yeah.
I'm sure the Campbell Soup commercial or that line. If you remember the line, you could say it if you like.
It
I'm
was
talking
something
about,
like,
yeah.
oh, like, on a cold day, beef hearty soup,
Ooh.
like something like that. You should
Mhm.
try it. Campbell's. It was Campbell's hearty chicken noodle soup. That was the line that got me. 'Cause I had to say that like perfect. Campbell's hearty Campbell's chicken noodle soup, something like that. And I'm like,
Okay.
like, but
Well,
I got it down, and
yeah. There you go.
I'm like, this is gonna be my story. This was my moment.
Yeah.
And it was all right. It was cool. I needed that though, because if I had it, I would have been like, okay, I'll just, I'll pay for it. And
Mhm.
it's just that was definitely, a blessing in disguise.
Right. Well, Campbell's, y'all need to sponsor us, okay? Hey, I'm just saying. And sidebar, I used to work for FDA, Food and Drug Administration, and U.S. Department of Agriculture. So,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
we used to do investigations on. But I'm not going to take away from Jay Anthony today.
Ooh. She knows her stuff.
I'm on the other end, making sure people are safe.
Yep.
So moving on, obviously you worn so many hats. You're an actor, filmmaker, creative visionary, football star. You know, I mean, you juggle. How do you stay grounded?
How do I stay grounded? I think it's just life
Yeah,
experience. I mean, not being able to control, like if you're great, but you're not able to control in a medical, physical world, you're not able to control it. So being able to know you have that power, it's definitely a hurdle that most people can't get past.
hmm.
So I'm thankful that I'm aware. I'm 30 right now, so I'm thankful that I'm aware now. And as far as trying to be able to instill, when I meet someone younger, of just something that they can kind of grasp, like, oh man,
Yeah,
maybe just to divert their process a little bit. But I'm just very thankful that I have this wisdom right now at 30.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, most definitely. And you're focused, you're disciplined. I see it. Obviously, you have to be disciplined to be in this field for sure.
Hmm.
I think that's where a lot of people it's the how can I explain it? I was listening to one of this one guy, he's very wise, and he was talking about how people when they want peace, they get the peace, but then they want cause chaos in their own lives,
Right.
you
Right.
know.
Hmm.
And it's you have to be disciplined enough to just enjoy that moment of peace or
Hmm.
whatever you've requested.
I think for me, what's currently working now is seeing that riches aren't just what you can buy.
Mm,
Riches are the experiences that you live on a day to day.
yes.
So my perspective now, because with me, it's so easy as a Capricorn to be money driven and want to get it. I want to hit the blockbuster right now. I want to do it, right? Like back to back. I'm in between blockbusters right now, but I want to be on set right now.
Right.
But to know that I'm able to wake up and see the things that I'm able to see, I'm constantly just self-talking like, wow, I'm rich right now. Like this is
Yeah.
amazing. I'm living rich because the people in my life that are here right now, it's just like they're not going to be here forever. I don't know what the future's going to hold. So I don't want to be that individual that has to look at pictures and be like, man, like I had it good back then. I hear a lot of
Mm,
podcasts of other actors where I want to be at, and it's like they've made it, but they always look back. Like they'll go to their neighborhood and be like, this was good times. These were
yeah.
good times, but and you can look it in their eyes that they didn't appreciate those moments because they were trying to get out. But then they
Yeah.
get back and they're like, man, like this is where it started. Kind of tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I have those moments now, and it's like it's amazing because that's what I'm gonna feel when I'm at the Oscars. You
Mm,
know, this is the feeling that I'm gonna feel once I'm
yeah.
there. So that's how I know I'm getting closer because it's becoming more visual now, just the things that are happening and just being able to, like you say, stay grounded
Hmm.
is being able to appreciate where you're at, the people that you see. You know, it's just because you have some solid people, and it's just like when they're gone, you're like, man, they were pretty solid. Maybe I should have
Yeah.
took a moment to sit back and smell the roses. You know,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, my favorite quote is like, if you're a seed, you need manure to grow. So even if it smelled
Mm.
bad,
That's true.
even though it smelled bad, at the beginning you're still a rose. Shout out to Rosedale, but
That is so
but I
true.
digress. Yeah.
No, no, I love it. I love it. Most definitely. It's we're so hurried, right? In this
Mhm.
busy world. And it's almost like what is his name? Is it Quicksilver? I'm a Marvel DC comic
Mhm.
fan. So when his power is just basically navigating like pausing everything so you can go into slow motion and actually see everything. I think that's so
Mhm.
dope
Yeah,
because you might miss something. It's like watching a movie. You
exactly.
watch it again and you're like, oh, I didn't know what's his name was there, or like Elon
Yes.
Musk was. I know I'm quoting a lot of Marvel scenes,
Yes, I see. Yeah, I love. Yeah.
but yeah. So and you're right because people. The thing about it for me, you just brought me back to my flashback. I just visited North Carolina. That's where I used to live in my college days, and it's nostalgic because like you're trying to make it out of there, going to get your degree, whatnot. But like in that struggle, you were free. You didn't
Mhm.
have the money. You didn't have all the money.
Mhm.
You were able to just drive to Florida, or
Mhm.
whatever, and just like, hey, I'm free. Like money, you don't get happiness from money. I
Right.
mean, yes, it does help, but you get what I'm saying. Like the
Mhm.
true lighthearted happiness.
Mhm.
So, but no, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, moving on. I don't want to get teary eyed. Um, in honoring the memory of Lourdes, uh, hopefully I'm pronouncing this properly. I was raised Catholic.
No worries.
um, it's such a personal and moving project for you. Can you tell us the inspiration behind it?
Yeah. So Mark, he actually that was his aunt. So he made the film for his family,
Mhm.
and it was a process. So I auditioned for it, and I did a live audition after he seen my taped one, and he liked me. So I was definitely blessed that he was able to give me that opportunity to be
Mhm.
able to portray, the fiance, or I'm sorry, the husband of the lost, of the widowed.
Right.
So I think for me, I took that role as a challenge to
Mm.
be more emotional on film. Definitely was just a opportunity to get teary eyed in a
Yeah.
concept because I wasn't really, as far as my filmmaking, I was just trying to get on sets, at last year. So
Okay.
me, it was just, this is more of an opportunity to showcase my abilities.
Mm.
So I was able to do that, and I made a great friend in Mark, and being able to
Mhm.
really see, like, he was really, like I said earlier, he's his work ethic is amazing.
Mm.
Some of these guys that I come across, it's
Yeah.
like once we have our budget and we're able to, put food on the table for them,
Right.
it's like it's gonna be back to back to back because, like I said earlier, with the malfunction that happened from
Mhm.
post production, he had every reason to say no, we're gonna scratch it. But the fact
Right.
that he has that work ethic, what was meant for him was an award-winning film for that
Right.
project, and that's what he got. He got that
Mm.
twice. We got that twice, and it's just like, for me, it was just like, how did you do this? Like,
Yeah.
but it's the blueprint. It's what's meant to be. If you really believe in yourself, like, things will just
Yes.
happen. And it was really unfortunate because I wasn't able to go to the screenings, and I was really upset about that
Mm.
because that was my first time seeing myself in a theater, with people
Yeah.
actually there. So, the fact that he was there, and I'm thankful he was able to take a picture and being able to, kind of speak on my behalf on that, take the award. I mean, it means a lot. So I definitely can't wait. I know we have a lot of work to do in the future.
Yeah, most definitely. Shout out to him as
Hmm.
well.
Yes.
Wow. So that was an emotional journey
Yes.
that in creating that film, right? Did it feel healing to you? And even though you're acting, you're really putting your emotions into
Yeah.
that script, if that makes sense. So you're bringing this to life. In
Yeah.
other words, did you have a sense of healing while doing this?
Yes, most definitely. I was able to method act, kind of
Okay.
be able to, we all have emotions that we suppress. Right?
Right.
I feel like that was a role where I was able to unleash some of those suppressed emotions, and
Mm,
it definitely was captured on film.
yeah.
And since I did that project, now that you mention it, it definitely was healing. To be able to go all in, because as an actor, you go through the process of like, oh, is he gonna cry on film,
Right.
or is he too macho? Is he gonna do it? And that was my moment to be like, yo, like, I method acted right there, and
Mm,
being able to put myself in a role, like, Mark, he's a great director because he put me in this role.
yeah.
As far as my demographic, it's really easy to put me in the streets. It's really easy to put me in the back of a cop car. I fit
Mm,
that, sadly, it's a description. So it's like
mm,
a role like that, it's like, okay, you did that. So to be able to have that opportunity
right.
to, you know, be a husband that,
Mhm.
still feels his wife, but she's no longer there. And to be able, because with him, I took the emotional aspect of this, like we had a future. Like we had a
Yeah.
future that we had planned together, and you're not here. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
kind of bringing it back to, not being able to control what
right.
happens. Death, you can't control death. So um, I think for me, look at husband's coming out. I'm not even sad. You hear that? That's the acting. But yeah, it was definitely a role that I was able to really embody the husband that lost his wife. Like, dang, like it's crazy.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's amazing. I think you would make a good husband.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I think my biggest thing on that is just being able to, I say this all the time. Like
Mhm.
if a piano drops on my head and you're covered, like that's all I really want. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's when it comes to that aspect, and being in this industry, man,
Right.
I ain't trying to be on Team Z. Like, not, bro. Like, I could have a dime, I could not have a dime, but guess what? LeBron's not gonna know, Drake's not gonna know.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, catch the end credits, bro. Like,
That is too funny. Oh my gosh, or the deleted scenes. Oh, let me
yeah,
stop.
for real. Like, yeah, man.
Never know.
Definitely. Hmm. Yep.
Oh my gosh, this is too funny. Oh
Hmm.
my goodness. So how do you hope that like short film like resonates with viewers that have experienced grief and loss?
Ooh, it's a great question. It's a
I'm
great question.
going deep with you today.
Yeah, man, that's a great question. It's, I think the piece is so simple. It's like idleness. It's more of
Mm,
like those moments where you're going 100 miles per hour in your brain, but you're pacing 2 feet back and forth.
mm,
With the film, like I didn't go to work. Was getting dressed. You might assume like, oh, he was getting ready for work.
right.
But, I went as far as buying a meal for her, like she was gonna come back. You know what I mean? Like putting
Yeah.
that effort, just being so tied in. And I think someone that goes through a lot of things in life, especially like loss, it's really
Mhm.
simple to kind of let that unconscious mind kind of just go physically, but mentally you're
Yeah.
still like processing like she's gone.
Mm.
So I think for me, with the people that watch that, I really hope they kind of gravitated that, like, wow, like I really didn't move that much. I really wasn't like that active,
Mm.
but my mind was active, my emotions were active.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. I'm lost for words. So the quote, right? I know I've been changed is a raw emotional stage role.
Mhm.
How did that performance challenge or change you as an actor?
Ooh, live. I have so much respect for the theatrical work. That was a piece where I was able to bring the movie in real life. That was my concept. My concept was for the people that were in attendance, for them to believe that I was like they were really in church. Like they were really seeing a
Mm.
man that was really willing to risk it all. And where you're like, is this a play? Is this guy serious? Like that's the look
Yeah.
that I really intended for the audience to
Mm.
see. So I definitely respected it. And I'm just like, man, like this is amazing to see the faces of people just like, oh my God. I was in people's faces. Like, where's
Wow.
Pookie? I've been changed. So I was someone that, who recently lost his brother or his cousin.
Mm.
And, I'm in church looking for Pookie. Like,
Right,
are you Pookie's grandma looking at an old lady dead in face? Like, are you Pookie's grandma? Let him know I'm looking for him. You know what I mean? And like really challenging my acting to where it's like, wow, this kid is legit.
right.
So I really like that opportunity. We went on tour. That was cool.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely open to doing more theater work in the future when my schedule and everything
Uh-huh.
aligns with it. I'm definitely open to it.
Mm. Wow. That's amazing. I'm sure that like my hat goes off to you. That's all I have to say about this because that's a lot of practicing for
Yeah.
sure. Um, so, what was it like, right? Tapping into such heavy emotions night after night on the stage. Like,
I think for me, it's knowing that every opportunity that I have, this is my moment. Like you don't ever know
okay.
who's watching,
Ah,
so being able to have that tenacity of knowing like, hey, I have to give it all my all. Like I'm
yeah.
never when I'm on set, it's one of those things where it's like you have to embrace that you're on set right now. My first few times, my first few commercials, I was on set, but I was also applying to other gigs. I was also my next gig. I was never resting on my laurels. So, when I
Mm,
did the movie, and I know we're talking about the play, for the casting, people that are casted and are doing this, I try to talk to them like, hey, like, why are you doing this? Like,
mm,
what is your end goal? Like, well, what
right.
is it? Because I definitely want to hear it. Because if
Yeah.
you might say something like, oh, I've thought about it, but this might be something that I went through, and I'm like, hey, keep
Mm.
going. Or it's just more of like, hey, I'm doing this for fun. It's like, okay, cool. Do you want to take a picture? Psh, and then on their phone, and then it's like, hey, when they see this guy, I hope they keep that picture.
Mm, right?
You know what I mean? Like, so it's just more of us knowing the interactions that I have in between people because,
Mhm.
like when Will Smith or, Denzel, Michael B. Jordan, before they got big, they were in elevators with people that didn't know who they were.
Mm.
And it was probably a moment where it was like, maybe, who knows, the guy's like, man, I had third period with this dude. What?
Mhm.
Like, I should have took a picture. Let me see if I can get, I definitely, I definitely treat each interaction like, hey, this might be your only time that we have in contact. So I want to make sure that you have
Mhm.
a good taste in your mouth once you leave knowing with me, whether you work with me during my 9 to 5, whether
Yeah.
I want to make sure that's okay. Like, I'm not just here. Like I know where I'm at. I'm in the future. I'm already in the future. Frequency wise, I'm reading books and
Uh-huh.
whatnot. So I might kind of get lost in this, but I'm reading a book called "You Were Born Rich." That's one of my books that I've been.
Ah.
And pretty much what it states is it's a mindset.
Mhm.
We were all born with all maximum potential. It's all
Mhm.
knowing whether you believe that you can do it or not. And then once you do believe it, it's all about doing the work and tuning yourself into that frequency So everything that I want is already mine. So it's just all about just tuning it in to where it's here in the physical world, and then it's like, oh, I'm here. So I treat every day like hey, I'm there. I'm not gonna be no rich snob. I'm gonna make sure I keep in contact with everybody. Like this is me. Like I said, this is me.
That's so true. I
Mhm.
need to pick up that book. I've heard where you can actually ask your future self for some support. Like, hey, come on,
Yeah,
help us out here.
for real.
What's going on?
Sheesh, you gotta tell me about that book. I'm like, we still haven't came out with time travel, bro. Like 30 years old, man. Like
Your future self is saying, hold on now.
right,
You coming, you're catching up to me.
right. I'm trying to like, I thought time travel would like you come out of nowhere. I'm about to be 80 years old by the time this dude shows up.
Oh my gosh. Definitely like the movies for sure.
Right?
Oh my god, this is too funny. Oh my lord. Too funny. Love it. But yeah, let's get back to like on that later
Okay.
on because I want to know
Okay.
more in depth about that book. So, I mean, obviously you are versatile because you've also been on Let's Make a Deal.
Oh, oh my gosh, yes.
Can you look? Can you tell us, at least enlighten us on that?
Just hungry, just trying to get on a set.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it was one of the first Miss Courtney Scapperly. Shout out to her. She was one of the first casting directors to to get me on a set, and I just took advantage. I'm just there, and my team was like, "Hey, this is your first. This is how a lot of people got started. I was on these shows. So now you've gotten there, and you just
Mm,
have to kind of build on that." So it was crazy. I was able to see it, kind of see how things were done. I
okay.
was very green into the
Right, right.
industry. I'm wide eyed, like, oh my gosh, I'm here. My like like wow. We talked to shout out to another Jay Anthony. He was one of the directors there. Brought me and my crew here in the room. Kind of went through my process, and he was like, "Okay, Jay, so you're gonna say this on set, okay?" Because I'm like, "Okay, I'm an actor," and I was like, "No, okay," because I was personal training at that time. You're gonna say you're a personal
Okay.
trainer. You're gonna say you own a business. You
Uh-huh.
do meal preps, okay? This is what you're gonna say. This is me being green, okay? Like I'm not knowing. I was already pre-selected to get on this on set.
Right.
You get on, and there's a lot of people that are really like they think it's a game show. So it's like, oh man, I hope I get on. So I'm like, oh yeah, I hope I get on. This would be cool to post on Instagram so I can just show that I'm an actor and I'm on set. So we sit there, and everybody's like, all right, we're gonna run through the lines. First time I'm on set, mind you. All right, so we're gonna just have one of you guys. We're gonna have you go, and we're gonna just have you run up, and you're gonna act excited, acting like a contestant. So like, okay, so announcers, all right, camera set, action, run through. All right, so our first guy is Jay Anthony, right?
He like,
This is not.
ah!
I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that we did the run through because I would have definitely. So I'm like, what? I'm getting caught up, looking at him, high fiving everybody, pop, pop, pop. And mind you, they tell me I'm a personal trainer, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, this is an easy role. I already transitioned from
Yeah.
personal training to acting, and I'm doing squats up there, squats, and I got this like onesie on, right? And they're like, all right, cool. All right, we're gonna do the real thing up. The director, he has his earphones. Hey Jay, listen. So we're gonna have you be a little less excited. We're like telling me like this is how the process is, and I'm like, yo, this is planned. Like, ding. So we went through the whole thing,
Uh-huh.
and one lady got called up. I got called up, and now the one thing that isn't planned is
Uh-huh.
the like if you win. That part is not planned. That part is
Oh.
merely hope. So me, I already won in my head. I'm on stage with Mr. Wayne Brady. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
yo, Wayne, I'm not gonna try to solicit, like, hey, by the way, I'm acting, put me on this show. I'm not doing that. I'm just like, in my head, I made it. Like, I'm here with a guy that's
Right.
been in the industry. So prior to going to Let's Make a Deal, I did my homework. I saw what he did in the beginning as far as like whose line is it anyway. I'm like, oh man, this guy, Dave Chappelle skit. I'm like, man,
Okay.
this guy has really been, he's been in
Right.
the industry. So this is a guy that is like, hey, I made contact. This is a win for me, whether I win
Right.
or lose. So he calls me up. He's like, how you doing? I have loafers on. And I'm like, I'm good. Why not? It's still cringy to this day. And the mystery box, I won $1,500.
Oh
So that
wow.
so
Okay.
that right there in my head, I'm like, wow, like I was on set for 2 minutes. I won $1,500. There's so much money in this industry. Imagine if I really tapped into my talent, how
Mhm.
much more I can make. So
Yeah.
that right there was like kind of like go. So yeah, it's definitely if any actors, dude, any I mean not any gig, but when you're first starting out, that's a great gig to get into. It's a great environment. Went to the awards, so it's crazy. Fast forward a year and a half later,
Uh-huh.
they actually won an award at the 27th annual Family Film and TV Awards. They won. I
Mm.
was present. So when I went to the awards. Like, okay, this is cool. And then they were running through the awards and like, okay, let's make a deal. They put their whole production cast on the film. Like, thank you guys, we won. They had their trophy. I literally teared up because I'm like, in a million years, I was on that show. I was picking people from the production. Like, I remember him. I remember her. I remember them. Wow. And some of the people from those sets, I see them in a few different of my gigs. But that moment was just like, wow. Like, I'm here on an award show,
Wow.
and that was my first gig. They won best game show of the year. Like, it was just more of like a like, man, I teared up. Not gonna lie, I didn't expect myself tearing up just being in the audience in the award show. I thought I would tear up, winning the award. So it was definitely just like it was a great
Yeah.
moment for me.
That's amazing. It sounds so much like fun, and you naturally like got he's like, can you tone it down a little bit?
Right,
I think I would have to practice toning myself down because
right.
I
I didn't want to
didn't really
embarrass myself. I didn't want to
I
embarrass
mean,
myself. Nope.
no, that's dope. Well, that is too funny. I love it. I love it. So, um, was it just that one scene or one segment, or was there multiple segments that
For
you
the
did?
let for Let's Make a
But
Deal,
uh-huh.
it was just one.
Okay,
I
okay.
mean, I've been getting, they've been, I mean, Miss Courtney, she reaches out from time to time, but they have
Okay.
this stipulation where it's like, you got to be off of the show for 3 years.
Oh,
So me, I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it by the book, bro. Like, I'll be a
okay.
guest star or something,
Okay.
in that time frame. So I'm definitely open to going back, though. Definitely open to going back and just having fun. 'Cause that's where I started. I'll never forget where I started from.
Yeah, that sounds so much like fun. Because yeah, I think I was talking with one of the artists, and I feel like when you're doing something that you're passionate about, it's not work. In
Hmm.
my mind, because you just want to keep doing it. Like
Right.
I'm up messaging people and posting stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you sleep in that? I don't know.
Yeah. It's the process. Yeah.
Right, right. I have to unplug sometimes. Um, so we want to also talk about the Bose commercial,
Oh yeah.
right? You showed a whole nother side. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna front. Look, I try to look for that clip.
What
Maybe
happened?
I try to look for that commercial clip from
Oh
Bose
yeah, did
commercial.
you?
No, I couldn't find it,
No.
but I found Any Gabrielly. I
Oh, you
found
did?
her. Well, with her, music, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, she's pretty dope.
She's good.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so how did those like projects like differ from acting on
Great,
stage or in film, like the
great
whole
question.
commercial?
Well, I think my thing is the Miss Annie was different because,
Okay.
I was supposed to be her love interest.
Uh huh.
So it's just more of like understanding, understanding. As an act, I'm acting like a love interest,
Right.
but
Right.
knowing those boundaries within myself, like, hey, like we're co-working, So I think when I first met Miss Annie, you have to separate yourself from like fan versus co-worker or
Oh.
co-mate as far as that. So I was like, hey, yeah, how are you? I just making sure she knew that it's not no No, behind
Oh,
the camera weirdness, you know.
okay, gotcha.
Kind of asked her questions and whatnot, just about, her process, as
Okay.
far as what she goes through. And she definitely opened up as far as mentally, as far
Oh,
as, her having to still talk herself up and telling herself that she can do it. She's like, yeah, I'm here, but I still have to work on my confidence every single day. I still have to put the time in every single day. And she opened it up to me about her fam and whatnot, and about their, different country, and that's just it's a different hurdle that you have to go through,
yeah,
because from the outside looking in, you look at stars, you look at them like, oh man, they made it, like they can
yeah,
have everything they want, but being not a resident of the country and your family's out there, it's like
yeah,
still kind of a hurdle. It's still work that you have to put in. It's still a goal that you have to accomplish to make your life how you want. So it was
right.
very interesting to hear that human side of her. Definitely being able to see how she deals with her fans, and
Yeah,
how she is very just transparent with them and whatnot. They love her. Her fans love her. Some of her fans hit me up. And I'm like, man, like, this is crazy. So it was
yeah,
definitely something to where I was able to, I guess, visualize where my future was.
hmm,
So it was cool, man. She's a great person.
yeah. It
That was
was.
different.
I love her songs. I think her latest one is "Waste, Don't Waste Love" or something like that. Um, but you can tell, even though there are people that are in stardom, you can
Hmm.
kind of have a inkling, because everybody goes through stuff behind the scenes.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, we're at the end of the day, we're all human.
Yeah. Right.
Unless
Hmm.
you're, I don't know, alien or
Yeah.
family don't need sleep. But no, that's really dope. I'm trying to, again, we'll probably look for that Bose commercial and I'll post
the,
it on my
the,
story feed. But I would
yeah,
like to
Bose was
see that.
cool. I liked everyone I worked with. I was able to see the set and how a set should be ran. So in my head, for my feature film, I want my set to eventually look like the Bose set. Just how they had everything handled as far as the call sheets. They had
Wow,
transportation. They had the building permits to be able to
wow,
film. They had multiple trucks. They had talent. They had makeup. They had wardrobe. They had
everything.
PA, they had hairstylists, they had everything. So for me, that was the first time to see how big this can get. Like, wow, like this is amazing. And they were quick on pay too. Like
That's it. That's dope.
I'm like, I don't gotta wait 2 weeks, bro. Like
Right? Wow, that is so cool.
man, I was at work like Kanye West, can't tell me nothing. Like I made what 2 weeks worth of pay in 3 days, bro. Like, God,
Right?
like, it's a
Hello.
process.
That's not too shabby there.
Right. It's the process. It's definitely the process, man. But definitely, it's just wanting to, because it can get bigger. The thing is it can get so much larger when it comes to finances. But you have to go through, like you said earlier, about the process. Like you love to do this, but there's a certain point and level to what you love to do can bring you generational wealth. But you have to do the necessary steps to make it happen. So
Yeah,
with me, it's like that little bit of resistance. Like you have to endure that, because if you don't
yeah.
endure that, then you won't get it. But not only that, if that endurance wasn't there, everybody would be rolling up in Rolls Royces right now. Like everybody
Right?
would be in mansions. There'd be nobody, worth it. Wouldn't be worth it at that point. So I think that process of knowing, like, okay, like
Yeah.
that Bose commercial was good. I was in front of the camera, but for what it did to my career, it's something that I'm able to take in, like, okay, once I have this structure
Mhm.
and that budget to make this happen like that, it's going to be
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
yeah,
it's gonna happen. It's definitely
yeah,
happening.
yeah. I think for me about that, it's just more of not waiting.
Mm,
Hearing Mr. Kugler talk about, the right time to do your movie is now. It's just like, man, it's very easy to be like, I'm going to hold back on this idea until I have the most
Mhm.
commercial money to be able to do it. So it's just now being open to it, of knowing
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm gonna work on a page a day in 90 days. That's a script. There's two different
Yeah.
movies that I'm working on. One of these have to pop, you know, and
Yeah.
just as far as filmmaking alone, I want to make sure when that conversation does happen with the right people, that I'm able to really show like, hey, I'm serious about this.
Oh, I know you're serious.
Yeah.
That is so dope. I really, your work ethic is just phenomenal.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, I can't wait. So, and hopefully I'm pronouncing this right. Rimpau, Rimpau,
Rimpau. Yes.
Rimpau Station seems to be a turning point, right? Gritty,
Mhm.
intense, rich in character. What drew you to that role?
You know what? It's the director, the writer, Mr. Valiant. You know,
Yeah.
I trust he'll do the job well and do it correctly and do it beyond expectation.
Hmm.
And and with his background and with him knowing we just need bodies to show up with that role, his concept of it's amazing. He actually has a film called Journey, or a series, Junior Blonde,
Hmm.
on YouTube right now, and he's definitely kind of connecting it, connecting the pieces to that, and I just respect him, in this space, in this film space, and whenever when he's ready, when the hiatus is over, I'm ready, right, to get
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Ready to get
I'm
it.
excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. I read up on obviously I did my my,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
my
Yeah.
research. I'm a research buff. I love researching. That was my previous life. Um but I'm really enjoying, our conversations, and like you said, you have to start somewhere. At one point, this was just topic discussion by myself. So and here
Uh-huh.
we are. It's really interesting, in your belief system, what you believe and what you exude out to the universe comes back. So I truly believe in that as well.
Mhm. Yes.
So, how did you, moving on, how did you prepare mentally and emotionally for the series that, you're about to shoot, or, in
Rimpau.
preparation? Yeah, preparation, right.
So that was more of just like being consistent. Every
Okay.
Sunday we were able to meet up as a crew and just show that consistency.
Okay.
I think for that role, it was more of just like showing that I'm able to like stick it through no matter what.
Mm.
Whenever you're ready to shoot, let's shoot. You want to read the lines, let's read the lines, because that's the type of dedication that I'm going to have out here in this industry.
Mhm.
So it's just more of those roles where I'm never going to like take that lightly, and it's always something that's continuing to build on itself. It's called the drip effect. So
Oh, yeah.
we just kind of just let it just go. I know there was another one he's working on, next date as well. That's one that I am very, very, very excited about, is next date, because that was honestly the first script that I've ever read, not knowing how
Mm.
big it was, and the fact that it's still on my face, and like 5 years,
Yeah.
6 years later, it's just like, okay, like it's just something where it's just different.
Wow. Wow. Not only, guys, is he an actor, filmmaker? I mean, gosh. Is there anything else that I missed, by the way, before we move on?
That's it. That's
Oh,
it. Yeah,
oh,
that's it.
okay.
Filming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna pop something on for you guys to see. We see that
Oh
he's in the Vogue magazine. Sir, can you talk to the audience about this?
man. Yeah, it was. I did that at the Oscars.
Mm.
Came across. It was. Oh my goodness. The photo. Uh, sorry, I forgot your name. I think it was Michael. Michael. Yes. Michael. Hey, I work for Vogue, man. I could get you, a cover. Just took a picture. It was crazy because I wasn't in the studio for that. So, yeah, it's just amazing what the power of this industry, where it's just like you just one hello can kind of get you just an article and
Wow.
in there. So it's it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like the photo up on this. This is very nice.
Thank you.
So when it came out, right? How did you feel seeing yourself on the cover of
I think
the most iconic like fashion platforms in the world?
you know what? It's my favorite. I'm always thinking about next. Like
Ah,
what's next? You know,
mm,
because it's cool, but it's like I want more stuff, more things to be on there. I want to add on to my body of work. What's next? You know, so I think the biggest thing about the industry is like it's very easy to be content like once you make it. So it's like once you get on a Vogue magazine or once you do your first blockbuster, it's easy to sit heavy on 5 mil for a cool 2 years. But
true.
you know, I don't want to be that. I don't want that to happen to me. So
Right.
I think for me, I'm able to um, humble myself instantly.
Mm,
Not enough. Like my biggest thing is like when my movie comes out or when Aquarium comes out, I want to already be working on my first, second blockbuster by then. I don't want to wait until a release date to be like, okay, got paid and got paid fat and we're
right.
we're we're, we're doing numbers and now I'm going to do the next thing. Like it's all about acting like I didn't do it. So I honestly forget about the Vogue. I forget about all the articles because it's it's just kind of in the past,
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoken like a true artist for sure. Well, since we're here, I wanted to highlight also the movie, the Kaizen movie here.
Yes.
Let's see. Should we do this one or I think it was this one. Let me see. Can you
Yeah.
Yeah.
hear?
Like there's still some mountain left to climb. You've already changed the world. You just refuse to see it.
Discovery returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
Maybe you're chasing stars, but down here, you are one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Um Look, you guys have to tap in with Jay for sure. I'm not done with you yet. Hopefully, we still have time. I'm trying to keep
Yes.
track of time because I know how busy your schedule is. Um,
Yes.
so, as a rising Black creative, right? What
Hmm.
does the visibility in spaces like fashion, media mean to you?
Fashion, media, I think for me, I'm just so focused on the craft
Uh huh.
of it all, where it's like I want to get good enough to where it's like the fashionistas or the fashion designers, they see me, they're like, I want that dude in my product. Did a photo shoot for Officially Certified. One of my guys, I have him here, and he sees it. He sees the vision, and I definitely like it because not only does he see the vision, but he respects it and he respects me as an
Mm,
artist. So we have that mutual business aspect, and you don't find those often. So
that's true.
just to be able to have built those relationships on a
Hmm.
on a major scale, that is what I'm looking forward to. Like if I'm able to, meet the executive of Nike or the executive of this. I think based off of a conversation or just like meeting who Jay is, I believe that can happen like that eventually. But I definitely don't want to be just someone I'm just put in that space just to fill
Mm,
that space. I want to make sure that once I'm in that space, that I have work building on top of each other. So eventually, I'm able to really bring in that that generational wealth. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow. It to me it sounds like you're spreading the wealth, which is amazing.
Hmm.
And that's truly not a lot of people even have that mindset of helping each other out. And that's what we're supposed to. That's we're here on this planet. We're supposed to help each other out.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunate. But at least in the positive note, we have people like us helping each other out. So
Right.
that what makes the world a better place.
Yes.
So your projects often carry a deeper message, as
Yes.
we've heard.
Yes.
um, what kind of legacy do you hope to leave through your work?
Our legacy is just not quitting, believing
Okay.
in myself. Just, I really hope that, I don't know if someone that is going to want to be an actor or a
Okay.
filmmaker right now or 5 years when they watch this,
Hmm.
I want them to get something from when I'm talking or when I'm speaking. I want them to get something to be like, wow, like I can do it. I definitely don't want for people to feel like, oh, it's just me, 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 me. No, like I had to go through some stuff in order to be here. And the crazy part is if you would have interviewed Jay a year ago, I would have been like, yo, I want to be in a movie, and that would have been in a conversation. But now it's like I'm in a movie. Now what? What's next? Like, like let's get more. Like let's get more. Let's make this contract better. Let's tweak it this way. Like now, it's more of a thought process where it's like, okay, you know, it, it's more focused. I'm more focused, and I
Okay.
tend, like I know you said, being disciplined in this space, but I can be more disciplined. There's
Mm,
more ways that I can be better at this craft, and being able to be, tune in that frequency of the guys that I want to be, or
mhm,
where I want to be, and I believe like with this mindset and with my team behind me,
mhm,
I think it's more than highly possible for this
mhm,
to happen sooner rather than later.
mm. Yes, most definitely. But always stopping to smell the roses as well as you go along.
That's
That
right.
is that is most important because yeah, it's give yourself some grace. That's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times we can be hard on ourselves, and so and that the way I look at it is it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time and a matter of you catching up to your future self.
Amen to that. Yep. True that.
so so what's coming up next for you? Can you like give us a teaser
So
or
we got
maybe
the
a
outside of Hollywood panel. Outside of Hollywood panel is going to be May 30th. So definitely, if you're able to fly, I don't know if you're able to fly out, but maybe next year. It's an annual thing, so we have that coming out. Aquarium is going to come out whenever it comes out. I'm not sure when the production it says that. See, I was just talent on that set, so it was definitely a great film. This
Mhm.
film is going to do well. We have great actors. Shout out to Terrence. Shout out to Miss Luna, David, Shane, Sean. Sorry if I butchered your name. Uh, man, they had talent. They had talent
Wow.
from all directions on this film, and it's one of those films where it's very relatable.
Mhm.
And as far as like just relationship aspects,
Mm.
it's about a man. He's getting over an ex, and he has
Mm.
his future in his face. Yeah, he has his future in his face, but he's still seeing his ex around, like almost like a trip, almost like
Oh
he
wow.
does something, but he sees his ex, and he's like, oh, and he has to snap out of it. And that's something that, as like, I don't know if you've been through it, but that's like that PTSD that you
Mm.
go through when you go through a relationship that wasn't the best, and then it's just like you have your future here, but you're still lingering there. So it's definitely something that's when it comes out, it's going to be up for discussion, which I know it's
Mm.
going to be great. So
Mm.
super excited for that streaming, but when it comes out, it comes out. I just want to make sure I'm working on the next deal. I'm on set working on the next.
Right, right. Well, that sounds like a good book too.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, relationship. We're look, everybody
Yeah.
needs some help for
Yeah.
real, like relationship help. Wow, okay. And where can listeners? I know that you have your Instagram, and I'm posting everything like
Okay.
where your feeds are, but where do typically people can reach you?
Yes, for sure. So any casting directors, producers, directors, email me at bookjanthony444 at gmail.com. For social media, bookjanthony444, or I'm sorry, yeah, bookjanthony444 at gmail. No, it's J Anthony. Sorry. Business mind. Instagram, janthony444. to link up with me on Instagram, but definitely we're all about bookings here, baby. So anybody that's here that wants to make a movie and then you want the character to pop out of the film outside of the words that you see on the page, definitely tap in with me.
Okay. And also shout out to King's PR.
King's PR. Dominic, appreciate you, man. Is he still on?
Let's see here. There's other people here.
Yes.
Shout out to Tyron Jackson official,
Okay.
Masayo,
Monster Yo.
J.O., excuse me, official. He
You
has
know it.
a new, yeah, he should listen to his songs.
Okay.
Definitely. X, probably pronouncing this wrong. Exabiel Lamb official. Hello. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. But and Miss Chur, Chaco Barth Jr., Mr. Brock. I hope that I didn't miss anybody, but if I did, my apologies. And thank you so much for joining us. So before I leave you,
Okay.
right, what's one word that you can describe your journey so far? If there's a word.
Mm,
Am I making it difficult?
that's a great question. Uh, my journey, I would
Yes.
say, is breathtaking one word? Breathtaking? Is that one
Yeah,
word?
sure.
Breathtaking.
Oh, I like that. Breathtaking.
Breathtaking. Because it's definitely you just don't know what's coming. And when I did the Bose commercial, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They didn't even tell me it was a Bose commercial. It's just earphone. like like something simple like that. But I'm just so
Really?
busy. Yeah, I'm just so busy just with the process. And they were like, okay, we need a picture of you, or we need a video of you running. We need a video of you doing push-ups. I'm like, what is this? Is this like Under Armour commercial? Like, what is
Oh my
this?
God, armor.
Yeah, like, I'm sending them pictures of me just like
Oh,
I did no running. I played basketball. I played basketball.
oh.
I played basketball on that set. And this little side story before you let me go. I did not work on my jump shot, and it was crazy. Action time, it was Brick Anthony. But then when we were off set, I'm making it, and
Uh-huh.
then action, Brick Anthony. So like, there's just little moments like
Oh,
that. But I would say breathtaking for sure, just because it's like a roller coaster, man. Don't let your
wow.
highs be too high. Let your lows be too low. Just kind of just be even keel. Just know it's a ride. It's a journey. It's breathtaking because honestly, when you start this journey, you see the true colors of your team, of the people that you associate yourself with. Once you have a big dream, you see if they believe in you or if they don't. You
Oh,
see that. So I think for me is knowing it's breathtaking because it's like, wow, like that's how it is, but it's not that's how it is. But it
yeah.
really, your future is how you react to it, how you react to being doubted, how you
Mhm.
react to being laughed at, how you react to it.
Yeah.
And I think for me with breathtaking is because it's like, man, like, I've learned a lot throughout the way. My team is so solid. I'm around the right people. There's no reason for me now to not follow the course,
Right.
no reason for me not to follow the course. Professional, I could be with anybody on set, Mariah Carey, I could be with her on set
Yeah.
and keep it straight business, street professional, because there's nothing that I want that I don't already have in that aspect. So I think for me, knowing that I have no distractions when it
Right.
comes to that, something that, especially with men, it's really easy for men to be distracted working around actresses, 5-star actresses, or even those behind the set working the camera. That is not even in my realm. My focus is making sure that the job gets done. So I'm definitely thankful just knowing that I have that now,
Yeah.
that it's just like it's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up.
Most definitely. Like, one note that I took away from you, Jay, is that you actually um get a sense of the environment and the feel of a person, meaning you're so aware, in other words, because a lot of people, we all have triggers, right? And so you don't want to any mishap or like the TMZ thing that you were
Mhm.
saying.
Mhm.
And going back to the singer Annie, like I really was touched about your approach with her
Mhm.
because you hear so many crazy stories
Yeah.
in the music, entertainment industry, period, about the um, dialogue between the opposite sex, right?
Mhm.
And so it's very refreshing to know that someone like yourself would actually take the time to talk to the person that you're going to be involved with in this role or what have
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
So
Most definitely.
I appreciate that. I think a lot of people should do that. You know what I mean? Kind of like tap in, vice versa.
Yeah.
Even women
Yeah.
should tap in with maybe the person's going through something. We never know. Like that
You never
day
know.
that you're about to act or you're about to do this huge role. I mean, people could have been impacted.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like it could be like a make or break thing for
Right.
them, but they still have to keep going. They still have to be disciplined. And um, like that third day, you still
Yeah.
have to do it regardless if you like it or not.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So, but is there anything that, as far as like your experience for Endino 360, that you
I
would like
love.
to?
This is the beginning. So the bigger I get, where you definitely have me open as far as DM goes. You can definitely. I'll be able to fly to you next time. Who knows? We'll be on the studio. Yeah.
Right, like,
I dream
hey,
big. I don't dream small. Like
right,
So everybody that I'm involved with, especially at this time, I'm definitely like, hey, you're part of the journey now. And as I'm on the Breakfast Club and you know rapping for Sway in the future,
right.
just know if there's some headline that gets out, I'm gonna hit you up first.
Oh, I
All right.
appreciate you.
So we'll be like, yo, you still got that podcast, right?
Like you know it. What time we go? What time we having breakfast? No,
Right.
you see what I did? Brunch. No, we gonna have the brunch club or the like after breakfast
Right.
club. That is too funny.
Right.
Wow. So, any advice you would give to upcoming actors, filmmakers, etc.?
Yeah. You create your reality. So yeah, definitely just don't speak small on yourself. Speak highly on yourself. If you want to be an actor, start proclaiming yourself you're an award-winning actor. That's what I did. I was a future. My name is Jay Anthony. I'm a future award-winning actor. That was me. 2024 when I was in front of a camera when I was being interviewed. Then I had to adjust to saying, "Hey, my name is Jay Anthony. I'm a two-time award-winning actor." So just knowing that there's no limits to this. I already have my Oscar speech already made. I already have just visually just everything that's going to happen in the future, and I know the people that are here that are close to me. I'm gripping to them tight, and just don't forget where you come from.
Most most definitely. I love it. I love it. Well, you heard it here at Endino 360. This is not going to be our only show with Mr. J. Anthony. So I can't wait for the next. You never know. Might be a special episode coming on.
You
Uh,
better.
right. Be sure to subscribe to Mr. J. Anthony and Endino 360. Don't forget, like, comment, share, because it's caring, except for germs. And to view all the episodes of Endino 360, we're actually streaming this live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I will post this feed onto Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Twitter, TikTok, etc. I don't know if there's any other platform that's probably fed. And let's please continue to support the Unity for Social Justice. Let's free Masayo and all our brothers and sisters that are in need of our support. This has been a broadcast of showing love full circle between NNO 360 and Mr. J. Anthony.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Salute.